Okay, according to this, we should be live. So, who do we got here? We got some people. Hello, Chad and Wilkinson, and Big Gay Dave, and Hans, and JLS Comics. And Hans says, love your channel. Me too, JLS Comics, great YouTube channel. Jump in General, and Doug. And I saw Peg Warmers earlier. Hello, Peg Warmers. So, hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. Welcome back to Tuesday night. And we got stuff. We got stuff to talk about. I give everybody a minute to come in. Everybody filter in. Find your seats. You know, get a refreshment. And we've got lots to say. Hello, Ryan. How do you do? And Raphael, welcome. Hello, Cyclonus and Matt. Hello, Doug. Doug had a good time at Joefest last year, but it's close to a friend's wedding, so he can't make it this year. I'm sorry about that, but I'm glad you had fun last year. Hello, Podcast from the Pit. Hello, Beach76. Francisco, hello and welcome. I just want to try to catch everyone when I can, when they come in, and say hello. And let's see. We will... hello, Mark Ryan. Hello, MCDJ ACDC. We have a lot to talk about. I have a topic. We are on, yes, Peg Warmers. Hoodie is on. Well, I'm not wearing a hoodie. If I were wearing a hoodie, then the hoodie would be on. But yes, I have things. I'm surrounded by things that I'm going to show you. Hello, and I gotta stop pretending that I can read without these and just admit that I require these to read small print. Terentia, hello. Hello, Chad, unless I already said hello, but hello again. Hello, LO1BO. I have a topic. Hey, Gaz, how you doing? Chad asked where and when is Joefest this year. Joefest is in June this year, and it is always in Augusta, Georgia. It's in the same place. JoeCon. JoeCon used to be a traveling convention. They would have it in a different city each year. Joefest is always in the same place. But I have some stuff. I have some stuff from both JoeCon and Joefest. And there's one particular item... found it. From JoeCon that I wanted to show you guys. Hello, Firecrotch. And I think I said hello, Figure Six Pack, but if not, hello. How do you do? Yeah. So, again, a few people are filtering in. I'll give you guys just a minute. Hello, Russian word that I can't pronounce. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Hello, Kevin. Battle goggles. That's what it is. Yeah. I don't do the faceplate anymore. It's just the peepers. But yes, once we let everybody find a seat and get comfortable, I think the first order of business will be the vote. There's a poll going on Patreon right now. Hello, Small Town Machine Shop. Welcome. And it's the first poll that we've done in a really long time. Hello, Beta Ray Bob. Welcome. We haven't done a poll in forever. Of course, for a long time, I wasn't doing videos at all. So now that we're doing videos, it's time to do a poll. Hello, Sparkster. Welcome. Glad you're here. Spectacled Cobra Commander. Yes, that's it. Exactly right. Yes. Hello, Riptide O'Leary. Thank you for joining. So yes, there's a poll going on Patreon right now. I have the figures here to show you and perhaps influence your vote. I will tell you that last time I checked on Patreon, the poll was tied between two figures. It's a tie right now. I always said that if a poll ends in a tie, I will break the tie, but I'd rather not break the tie. I'd rather you guys decide. You guys decide, what you want to see. So hopefully that'll all work out and there will be a clear winner, but I'll show you the figures that are up for a vote. Hello, Sean Beckett and Doug Dello. Hello, welcome. Yeah, so yeah, the gang's all here. It's really cool to see a lot of regulars in here. It's really fun seeing you guys every week. It's also fun seeing new people. I enjoy making new friends. Hello, Robert Monty. How do you do? Hoodie Brigade forward. Speaking of which, the Gold Head Steel Brigade, the Gold Head Brigade pins, I was giving those out at one point. I still have a few left. And I was contemplating what to do with them. I have a few left. I don't have a lot left. But, you know, those were just for, like, supporters and people who had supported on Patreon. But they had supported in an overwhelming way that I really wanted to give something back. So, you know, that's kind of something that I did as a token of my appreciation. Hello, Raphael. You can still express your opinion, though. That is free. It's free to express your idea of what the correct choice should be. Hello, the Killer Weezer. Hello, Texas from the United States. Welcome. So yeah, we got a few people in here. Hey, Matt Rubin. We got a few people in here. So more vacation themed Joes. Yeah. That is a neglected area of G.I. Joe, is the off-duty Joes. So yes, we'll take a look at those here in just a minute. I did get started just a little before 7, so some folks might not have been expecting to jump on before 7. So I'll give you a couple more minutes. Free fudgy bars. Bazooka is bribing with fudgy bars. Robert Long asks if I have a Ghost Rider figure. I do have a Ghost Rider figure. I have a couple of them. One does have the scarf and one does not. Hello, JP. Hello, Oscar. Hello, Conroe, Texas from the United States. Thank you for joining. Lovely to have you here. Hello, Half Rod's Builds. From Verdigris, okay, from Verdigris, Oklahoma. Hello, Verdigris, from another part of Oklahoma. Welcome. Glad you made it. Hello, Michael Mitchell. JoeCon 2022. Technically, it's not JoeCon. It is Joefest, but we're going to talk this evening about both JoeCon and Joefest because I have memories to share. I have thoughts to share. Hello, Lester. And hello, Impossible Pie. How do you do? Sparkster says Hasbro Pulse has new classified figures, Bat and Alley Viper. Yes, I did see that. And I'd like to get both. I may have to wait on both, but they both look pretty cool. Hello, Rick Taylor and Photo Viper. Hello and welcome. So yeah, cool. Let's go ahead and start by reminding everyone that there is a vote going on, and there are 3 figures up to vote if you would like to influence what is to be reviewed on the channel. Hello, Chad Kimmel. Sorry if I did not say hello before, but hello. And hello, Chris. How do you do? Oh, Chad was napping, huh? Napping on the job. Well, that's okay. It's fine. It's not actually a job. But welcome, and I hope you had a nice slumber. Pleasant dreams. Hello, Pita Vita. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. So let's start by reminding everyone. Oh, Chris is from Lawton. Everybody's from Oklahoma right now. What are the chances of that happening? That's a coinky dink. Hello, Oklahoma from Oklahoma. How do you do? Killer Craig, you saw me at JC 2016. Begged you review Sergeant Savage. Yeah. I did review Sergeant Savage. I remember you. I remember that. That was quite an experience, and that was not a bad JoeCon as well. But I want to talk about the JoeCon experiences and the Joefest experiences, which are similar, not exactly the same, but similar. But first, let's look at the options Hello, Jason from Fort Bragg. How do you do? Thank you. The unboxing was really awesome. Hello, Mr. X. Let's see. How many Joes for Rangers, Special Forces, Airborne would be good to catalog it? Yeah, that's true. And sometimes they're not really specific on like which training or special forces groups particular characters have been in. It would be nice if some of the file cards were a little more specific about some things, but on some that you can infer that certain characters were Rangers or members of special forces and things like that. You can at least confer that. I think it would be hard to create a definitive list because some file cards are not specific enough. Thank you, RDO, for the super chat. Hey, what's a non-obvious figure and vehicle you'd put in the bottom tier? Oh, that's a good. Let me think for a second. Let's see. A non-obvious that I would put in the bottom tier. I'm just going through the years. I think. I don't remember exactly how I rated the Cobra Claw, but the Cobra Claw that's a tough one. It has some nice qualities, but at least all of them that I've had have fallen apart really easily. So I'm not a huge fan of the Cobra Claw. Is it bottom tier though? It still has some merit. Let's move forward. What else? There are some obvious ones that ought to be in the bottom tier. That's a really good question. I'm pondering. The Dreadnought Swampfire has got some problems, but then it also has some merits. This is the problem. See, this is the problem that I have coming up with like what tier something should fall in, is that like I think of some some vehicles that were just terrible, but I also find some merit with them. I think the vehicle that I found the most terrible was the Cobra Rat. That one I found very few redeeming qualities for. It is like half a vehicle. And when I took it out of the box to assemble it, I honestly thought that parts were missing. I could not believe that was the entire vehicle. It was so cheap. But that is not a non-obvious. That's an obvious one. But see, that's the problem, because with a lot of vehicles, it's tough to categorize because even bad ones usually have some merit. The Cobra Jetpack is one that I have a hard time finding a lot of merit with. It's big, it's clunky to put on an action figure's back, and it looks like a brick. It is both the shape and the color of a brick. The Rat. Thank you, Peg Warmers. That one's rough. That one's rough. The Coastal Defender. That's another. The Coastal Defender has some issues. There are some that you wonder, like it's like, why was it released as a toy? Hello, Comic Tropes. Yes, you are a great guy, but now that you're late, you have to buy everyone a beer. First round's on you. But thanks for being here. I hope I haven't missed anybody coming in. I said hello to Hans Chow. I think I said hello to Jason. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, so let's very briefly go over the figures that are in the Patreon poll. If you would like to vote, there will be a link in the description of this video to vote. And option 1, from 1993, there is Bazooka version 3. Now, the first two versions of Bazooka basically use the same mold. And it's the Bazooka that we're all familiar with. Thank you, the Killer Weezer. Always wondered why they went from O-ring figures to weird design like Valor. That's a good question. I I assume they were trying to freshen up the brand and trying to appeal to maybe some new customers, some new kids, rather than just be a nostalgic brand. But maybe that didn't work so well. I'm not so sure. But we have, believe it or not, this is supposed to be Bazooka. Yes, he does look like he's gone fishing. There's much to be said about this Bazooka figure. This is very much a departure from the first two. So that's option one. Option two is Barricade. This is a figure I really haven't talked very much about. And I think it might be kind of a forgotten figure from 1992, Barricade. There was a 1993 release figure, and the second version of Barricade was in red plastic, had red parts instead of blue parts. But this is an intriguing figure, not just the figure itself, but the fact that it looks like another action figure from a totally different toy line that was released a few years before. So, yeah, there's Barricade. That is option two. And finally, we have Snow Serpent version 2 from 1991. This figure is a fairly popular figure. There are actually a lot of people that like this figure, and I've heard from them. It is a snow figure that has yellow on it, so, you know, the jokes kind of write themselves. Somebody at Hasbro made this choice. They were like, this is a snow figure, let's make him yellow. And that got approved, and here we have him. So that is option three, and he right now he is standing on his wicked cool snowboard. This is a cool snowboard. I can't deny that. It's got like a snake head on it, and it's like big and purple. It's got like rockets on it. It's a rocket snowboard. Yeah, that's something. But anyway, that is option three. Thank you, Ryan Sweeney. Hoodie Spectacles, what's been your... Thanks, that's funny. What's been your favorite review, and what was your least favorite? Like, my least favorite... I'll start with the least favorite. My least favorite is probably not obvious. It's not necessarily a toy that I disliked a lot. My least favorite reviews tend to be like reviews that were really hard to shoot and edit. For some reason, some videos just do not want to come together. Like, I can't get the words out when I'm trying to speak, or, you know, the toy keeps falling over, or I can't get something in focus, or I accidentally skip a part of my notes that I need to put in, and then I have to go back and reshoot that part. My recollection is the Mobile Command Center review was really difficult. That was a huge pain. I liked how it came out. I thought that review came out pretty well, but it was a hard review to shoot and to create. And the Rolling Thunder, in a lot of ways, was the same. That one was tough. Just all these little things that you know, kind of behind the scenes that really made it annoying to complete. But again, I was happy with the final product. It was traumatizing. I will always associate it with many tries to get things right, and just things not wanting to go my way when I was trying to shoot that thing. What was my favorite review? I think, you know, I really like working with people, and my favorite reviews tend to be reviews where I was able to work with someone. I got to work with Comic Tropes on the review of Clean Sweep. That was a lot of fun. I got to work with Form BX257 multiple times. He did a little cameo in the review of the Slugger, and that was fun. I really appreciated that. Fun School Ronnie, but I think the review I had the most fun on. And again, it's not a toy that I loved, but I enjoyed doing. I enjoyed doing the video. That was probably the septic tank with Timmer. That was just like, we had fun planning it. We had fun doing it. It was fun putting it together. I like that. I like that very much. So anyway, yeah, let's see. Yeah, the hovercraft, the killer whale is like one of the first videos where I decided to do just something for fun in the review. So I did this whole thing where I married the killer whale, and it was just yeah, that was fun. That was fun. It was, I was happy with how it turned out. I still giggle at the thing when I watch it, but that one was one that was hard to finish, because at that time I was working in Oklahoma City and commuting from Tulsa. So like I recorded that last bit of that video after I had gotten off from work, driven from Oklahoma City to Tulsa, had a little bit of daylight, got that done, and I was just really tired and really hoping that it wouldn't show on the video that I was really tired. But I still enjoyed how it came out. I thought it was fun. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Meet up and play G.I. Joe All Violent. Hey, you're on. I'll bring my toys, you bring yours. That's how we used to do it. That is how we used to do it. We had... thank you, Riptide O'Leary. Favorite toy you bought at JoeCons / Joefest? I think I have a good answer for that, because I got my Terrordrome at JoeCon. It needed some work. It needed some parts, but yeah, I think that may still be my favorite. I came home with a Terrordrome. That was exciting. Will we ever see your brother play with G.I. Joes with you? That's a good question. I don't actually see him that often. And we're both in the same town, but we just have, things going on. I don't really see him except for holidays, but there are birthdays coming up. His birthday is coming up, so I could talk to him. I could see if we can get him on board to do something. Yeah, so we looked at our three options. And by the way, I think I mentioned it earlier in the video, but right now, at least the last time I checked the poll, it is currently tied. It is currently tied. Anyone could sway the vote, one way or the other. But those are the three options. Let's see, Bazooka and Barricade and Snow Serpent. So there's that. I'm really excited. I'll tell you how the Patreon polls go, or how the figures, the toys get selected. I would like to put more vehicles up for votes, but what I find is when I try to pick out 3 vehicles, it's hard for me to find 3 vehicles that have not been reviewed yet and that are kind of more or less on the same level, so they would have like an equal chance. I don't want it to be a blowout. I want it to be, I want it to be a choice. If I were to stack the deck, I could put like one popular item with 2 unpopular items, and then of course the popular item would win. But I'd like for people to really have a chance for any of them to win. No matter what you vote for, that option could win. So I'd like them to be kind of close to the same level, and I have a hard time finding like 3 vehicles that would work for that. And then like 80s figures, we have done a lot of the 80s figures, and it's kind of the same problem. There are some 80s figures that are wildly popular, and I gotta find like three that are close to the same level of popularity. That's not easy. Plus, there are some 80s figures that I'm saving for a special occasion. So I don't want to put those up for a poll because those are off limits. So there are specific plans for certain figures to review. So what that usually means is it ends up being something from the 90s. If it's something from the 90s, like our poll here, I can select things that are pretty close to the same popularity, at least as far as I can tell. And so, like, they all have a chance. Like, the one figure that's trailing in the poll right now, it was leading. It was leading when the poll first started. And now other figures have caught up. So I think that's a good poll. That means the options are pretty evenly matched. So that's how it kind of turns out to be 90s figures often, because it usually makes for a better poll, which I hope is more fun. I mean, that's the whole idea, is to be fun, right? So I hope that it leads to a more fun poll. We hope. Hello, Peter Ang. I don't think I said hello to you when you came in. Vartan, hello, how do you do? And anybody else who came in? Hello, Cobra Island. I don't think I saw you come in. What's the most overrated 80s figure? Now that is... It's subjective, but well, let's see. No, I can't. That one's not overrated. See, this is hard. It's hard to choose. Who is okay? No, I think I know one. I think Roadblock version 2, in my opinion, is a little bit overrated. I think that's a popular figure for a lot of kids. That was their Roadblock. Some of the details on that figure are a little soft. Hello, Rob Irizarry. Yeah, we have to start over. Rob just got here. So everybody just repeat everything you typed before. Just go back to the beginning and start the same conversation over, so Rob can catch up. Any figure that can't hold or store their accessories, yeah, that is a problem that I have with a lot of figures, and Roadblock version 2 does not fit that mold. So I guess it wouldn't. It doesn't meet that criteria. But I like a lot of 86 figures. I like a lot of 85 figures. Thank you, Comic Tropes. Who would win a fight between Updraft and Vapor? That's a good question, because the fans. Updraft and Vapor. That's funny. Updraft. Okay. I'm gonna say Updraft because I don't know, because he's wearing a helmet. That's a total cop out. But I am eager to find out who the audience thinks would win. Hello, Kevin Maley. How do you do? I think the most overrated is Chuckles. Yeah, that's not a bad answer. That's not a bad answer. Hello, Occam's Razor. Hello, Stargrave. Does a fight between Updraft and Vapor leave skid mark behind? That's funny. Hello, Michael Mitchell. And the Dark Knight 803 Abel. How do you do? He's voting Bazooka. He has a chance. He has a really good chance. And Cobra Island just got home from work. And I'm the relaxment. Well, just take a load off. Take it easy. We have just gone through the figures that are up for the Patreon vote. And now I would like to talk a little bit about JoeCon and Joefest. And I have some stuff. The first thing I have is this Tomart's Action Figure Digest. And you can see, yep, it has some 12-inch Joes on it. And this is a special magazine because it has a story in here about JoeCon in 1994, which took place on the USS Intrepid aircraft carrier. And yeah, this just talks all about that 1994 JoeCon. This is often considered the first official JoeCon, and I've noticed that later JoeCons count up from this, but my understanding is there were previous JoeCons. There were like DeSimone conventions. But yeah, this one, and yeah, there's a photo of it. I think there are some more photos in here. It talks about the agenda, the itinerary, and just the toys that were released there, the convention exclusives and such. This is, yeah, it was first of all, it was the 30th anniversary. 30th salute, but it was also the moment when G.I. Joe fans learned that the G.I. Joe Real American Hero toy line was going to be discontinued in favor of a new G.I. Joe Sergeant Savage. And I think I can say safely that it was not received well. It was shocking. It was surprising to a lot of G.I. Joe fans that the 3 3/4-inch G.I. Joe line was going away, and there was going to be a new toy line in a different scale. Hello, Armor Magnus. Hello, The Sweet Science. How do you do? The Sweet Science says, do you have a P.O. box or an address for gift boxes to your channel? Yes, I do. I will. Let me see if I can type it in here. Well, I gotta remember the... Man, this is how bad it is. I don't remember the zip code. Where's... Hang on one second. Talk amongst yourselves just for a minute. I'll be right back with you. Hello, Big Gay Dave. I don't know if I said hello to you, but hello and welcome. Glad you're here. Yeah, okay, that's it. There, that's it. Which, oh, I broke up, didn't I? Anyway, yeah, I have that, and I recently put out an unboxing video of stuff that I got in the P.O. box, and the address is there, so you can check that out if you would like. So yeah, this 1994 convention, the last year of what we consider the vintage toy line, was in. I think it's considered to be the first official G.I. Joe convention. But there were previous conventions, possibly unofficial, the DeSimone conventions, which it's hard to find information about those. I would love to learn more about those. Yeah, so that was the end of 3 3/4-inch G.I. Joe at that time, and instead we were treated to Sergeant Savage. So, hold on. Yeah, Sergeant Savage. That was going to be the new G.I. Joe. It didn't last. It didn't last. And then that was followed immediately by G.I. Joe Extreme, which was produced by Kenner, which was a division of Hasbro by that time. So yes, this is sort of a little piece of history about the first, depending on how you count these things, the first JoeCon. And then, obviously, I didn't go to that one, because I didn't know about it, even if I had wanted to go. But plus, in '94, I would have been 19 years old, and probably, that's just not a trip that I would have taken at 19. Hello, conspiratorial gamer. How do you do? What was my first year for G.I. Joe? My first year was 1982, at the very beginning of the vintage toy line. So I have some pieces from other G.I. Joe conventions that I also didn't attend, but I was interested in like the history of the fandom, like the history of the G.I. Joe fan community. So when I found a few things, I'd pick them up. So I got this, which is a tote bag. It's actually a pretty solid canvas bag. And this is from, it says G.I. Joe 2. And this is from the 1995 convention. So the next year. And again, they're counting up from 94 being the first. And I keep camera equipment in here now. I actually use this. It is functional. Very solid, very well made. The early G.I. Joe conventions were focused a lot on the 12-inch figures because fans of G.I. Joes in the 60s and 70s were adults by then, and they were of the age where they would collect and go to conventions. So it was primarily focused on the 12-inch collector. But as the years wore on, and as our generation got older, that's eventually started to shift and take over. Sorry, the sweet science, that is Oklahoma. It's Broken Arrow, okay. Sorry about that. I forgot what state I was in. I often lose my basic orientation to time and place. Comic tropes. They're in this day and age. We need precautions. But hello, Jeffrey Ball. Nice to see you. Welcome. We were just talking about JoeCon, the early days of JoeCon. Those early days of JoeCon, it was more about the 12-inch figures. It was more about G.I. Joe from the 60s and 70s. And a lot of the convention exclusives were targeted at that. That did change over time, though, as my generation got a bit older and, fans of the 3 3/4-inch G.I. Joe from the 80s and 90s got old enough to start collecting and going to conventions. But you can see in this other canvas tote bag, this is a much less impressive one, but this one is from the, where does it say? The 1997 convention. And it's this, I think it says, it actually says 4th annual. So, for 4th annual, that means it's counting up from 1994. But you can see this is, again, really targeted at the 3 3/4-inch collector with that logo. We've got, this logo here is, there we go. That is for the 3 3/4-inch collector. This is, 15 years, from 1982. So this is just a little souvenir, ephemera, if you will, of the 1997 G.I. Joe convention. And this one was this one in, I thought this one was in, it doesn't say where it was. Well, you guys, you gotta print the location of the convention on this stuff. Magic Productions apparently was the group doing the convention at the time. And then eventually I caught up. I got back into G.I. Joe sometime in 2014. I have Form BX 257 to credit for that. Hello, Burgess Meredith. Thank you for joining. Hello, Yo Joe. Thank you for joining. We're just talking about the JoeCon, G.I. Joe conventions. in one of ForumBX257's videos, he, at the end of his video, he just offhandedly said, you know, have fun at JoeCon in Dallas, Texas. I wish I could go. I hope everybody has a good time. And that's the first I had ever heard of JoeCon. I don't know why. Hello, John Ulrich. Hello, Jonathan Ulrich. Thank you very much for joining. Yes, that is true. We're a bunch of old guys that still likes toys. Hello, the real Aaron Collins. Hello and good evening. So yeah, 2014. Kevin just offhanded mentioned a G.I. Joe convention, and it's the first I ever heard of it. And my thought was, hey, Dallas is not very far from here. I can go. And so I did. It was spontaneous. It's like I heard about it, and then I planned the trip, and I went like a few days later. And that was this one, where this souvenir pin is from. That's 50 years of G.I. Joe. That would be 50 years from 1964. And that was in Dallas, Texas. I went. I knew nobody. I think I can say that the first person who actually recognized me, I was making videos at that time, but I had been making videos for like a few weeks. I was brand new. Jump in general, I also hope Kevin is doing well. Haven't heard a thing from him. So hopefully he's fine. Curtis from Detroit. Hello, Curtis. Hello, Detroit from the United States. Hello, Android78. Oh, thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob Vegas. Cheers from Melbourne. And shout out to all of the legends here in the G.I. Joe community. Thank you. And that's what we're talking about. One legend being Will. You may know Will because Will is a cosplayer, and he appeared in a couple of my videos as Duke. He does a nice Duke cosplay, and, you know, nobody knew who I was except Will. He actually recognized me, said hello. So that was really nice. And Will is just a really nice guy. William J. He's a really cool guy. Happy to meet him. And I'd always see him and catch up with him at JoeCon every year that I went. After that 2014 year, I did not miss. I didn't miss any JoeCons until they discontinued JoeCon. Hello, Vancouver, California, from the United States. Welcome. Vancouver, Canada. That's probably what you mean, not California. Hello, Vancouver, from the United States. Hello, United States, from the United States. This was the beginning of my JoeCon experience. I didn't know anything about convention exclusives. Hello, Jason Latroll. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. Must be tough to be a 12-inch collector these days. Yeah, probably so. I have some thoughts on that. I'll get back to that. I'll swing back to it. Yeah, Rob. William is a good dude. He's just a genuinely nice person. He's always been great when I've met him. But he has played Duke in a couple of my videos, and we always have fun doing that, and it's a great time. But yeah, so I would keep going back. I never had an interest in the convention exclusives. It was all modern stuff, and I was not a modern collector, so it just wasn't something I was into. It made, you know, going to the convention cheaper because I did not pay for the exclusives. At JoeCons, do you have to trade action figures for food and hotels? It is basically an all action figure economy. You know, they use action figures as currency. The last JoeCon. Well, okay, before I get to the last JoeCon, a few things, various things that I picked up at the JoeCons that I went to. Joe Declassified usually had a booth with a lot of like really rare and like pre-production items. And they also would have these the declassified report. I have two of them here. I don't know why I didn't get more. must have forgotten or something. But I have a couple of them here. And, it would cover some pre-production concept work. This one covers Sigma 6, including some production artwork there. And this one, I think, covers... it covers several things, but a lot of it covers... hold on. Yeah, there's G.I. Joe Extreme, but it also has some of the concept artwork there. So this is one of the great things that Joe Declassified did. And their booth was amazing. They did not allow any photography at the booth, but I would always visit because I would always see amazing things. That's where you could find a lot of... They would often have, like, the 2-ups, the Paint Masters. They'd have... one time they had, like, a whole cabinet full of head sculpts, like the original head sculpts at the size that they were sculpted. That was amazing. That was amazing. That's also where I first saw the mint in card unreleased Breaker and I think it was Breaker and Short Fuse. They were figures that were going to be released with the version 1.5 1983 bodies, but with unique heads. You know how those 1982 figures, a lot of them included they had the same head. Several of them had reused the same head and even had the same hair color. So you had some twins. And you had some triplets. You had like maybe a couple of quads of G.I. Joe characters in 1982 that they all looked alike. But there was a proposal for re-releasing those 1982 characters with unique heads, but with the same bodies. Now that is something I would have bought. I would have loved that. But, the Hasbro decided that wasn't going to work. So they didn't end up releasing it. But it got at least to the stage that they had created some samples, some sealed on-card samples, and those eventually made it to the fan community, and Joe Declassified had some of those at their booth, and that was really, really cool. Thank you, Gray Fox. So yes, that was awesome. That was awesome. And then another thing I got was this book of G.I. Joe artwork by 3D Joes by Carson, and I believe Carson was at the 2014 convention in Dallas, and I believe he had a booth there. I think I saw the booth, but I didn't know what it was. That first convention was like sensory overload. There was so much going on that I honestly didn't. I was so new to G.I. Joe fandom that I didn't have any idea what half of it was. Hello, Brad, and happy Tuesday. The unique head's something they could do in the new O-ring line. That would be great. That would be great. So shouldn't have put it away. I'm not done with it yet. So Carson did these books that have tons of really beautifully reprinted G.I. Joe artwork, and it's done by year. It's done chronologically. But I only have one copy. I told the story last time how I went to a panel and. I went back to the 3D Joe's booth to buy the rest of the set, and they were gone. They were sold out. Missed out on it. Another thing I picked up at JoeCon was this. This is Rank and File. This is by James Kavanaugh, noted author, and this is like all modern, 25th anniversary and up. Modern G.I. Joes, just a really nicely made directory, a reference book. There are also additional editions of these, which, again, I failed to get because I was not fast enough, and they were all gone. In 2017, Joe Declassified was doing this. In honor of Gary Head, who had passed away, Hasbro released a figure, Sightline, and this was a custom figure that was a 3 3/4 inch O-ring design of Sightline with file card, Joe Declassified on the back. These are of limited. This was a limited run. It was an exclusive there. They were free. They were giving these out for free because they wanted to get them in as many hands as possible. I was there with my 2 kids, and they made sure that each of us had one. They made sure my kids had one. They made sure I had one, and yeah, this is pretty special. This is an interesting piece of G.I. Joe fan history, and an interesting piece of G.I. Joe convention history. Really cool thing. And as some of you may know, JoeCon was discontinued. It was run by an organization called Fun Publications that people had mixed feelings about. Not everyone is a fan of Fun Publications. But Hasbro did not renew the license for JoeCon or BotCon, Kevin got all the rank and files. Lucky. So JoeCon for G.I. Joe and BotCon for Transformers was discontinued. The plan was for Hasbro to do HasCon, which was not going to be annual, but it would be periodic. Sightline is a figure you'd like to get. It's pretty cool. I think next time I see you, I'll try to remember to bring this so you can at least check it out and see what it looks like in person. It's really cool. It really is. So JoeCon and BotCon discontinued so that Hasbro wanted to do their own all-encompassing convention. That lasted, I think, for a couple of years and then nothing. So really, JoeCon and BotCon were replaced with nothing. I mean, there isn't an official JoeCon or BotCon anymore. But Ed Schumacher, a fan, started doing an unofficial G.I. Joe convention in Augusta, Georgia. I connected with Ed at JoeCon, and he invited me to go to Joefest the following year. I don't want to get too ahead of myself because that last JoeCon in, 2018? That was a monumental year. I met Kevin from Peg Warmers. I met G.I. Joe Berg, like all of G.I. Joe Berg. Like the whole gang. Like the guys from South Africa came to the United States, and we were able to meet up and hang out, and that was trippy. I met people that I had only previously seen on the TV screen. That was really cool. It was really everybody's last chance to have that official JoeCon experience, and a lot of people showed up. Sparkster says the closest for Transformers is called Pete's Robot Convention. It's in Kentucky in June. And that's similar to Joefest, which is in Augusta, also in June. Peg Warmers, Hasbro learned that they are in the toy making business, not the convention running business. They really dumped a ton of extra work on their staff to put that one. Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think it's a mistake. People are not Hasbro fans. People are fans of creators and creations. And creators do work for companies, and Hasbro is the company that G.I. Joe creators worked for. But Hasbro is the company. That's not what we are coming together to to share and enjoy. We are coming together to share and enjoy the creation and honor those who created it. And that's not... Hasbro has a lot of properties that appeal to a lot of different people. So if you're a fan of one of those properties, or even a couple... Hello, Tim Bentley. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Hello, Toy Connections. I don't think I said hello to you, but hello. How do you do? Am I a part of the original declassified group? I am not. I wish that I could have been, but I was not. I was just a fan. I was a big fan of them. The SoCal Joe Show, yes, the SoCal Joe Show is a pretty significant local G.I. Joe show, and I do want to talk about some of the regional shows as well. I do want to talk about that. The whole HasCon thing, I mean, there was some cool stuff at HasCon, but Hasbro has a lot of properties, and if you go to a HasCon, even if you're a fan of more than one of those properties, it's still going to have a lot of stuff that you don't have any interest in at all. And at the time, there wasn't anything being newly produced for G.I. Joe. So if you go to HasCon and you're a G.I. Joe fan, mostly what you're going to see is Transformers, Star Wars, My Little Pony, whatever else they're putting out at that time. And then G.I. Joe had a little table. And that's not a replacement for JoeCon. So then there was Joefest. And I was able to go... So far, I've only gone to one Joefest. And this is my Joefest card. This is an idea that I came up with that turned out to be a lot of fun. Hey, look. There's Cujo's signature right there. I just put this... I got a table... For my first time having a table, I set up a TV connected to a laptop so that it would just play my videos on a loop so, people could see who I was. And I had some artwork for sale, and I had a few other things. But, but I put this up at my table, and I just said, hey, sign my card. And people did sign the card. And this is, I love this. See, to me, this is what going to a convention is really about. This is why I never really cared about, convention exclusives. I know a lot of people, go to conventions for the convention exclusives, but I always went there to see people that I care about, and this is what is fun to me about going to conventions. And that is why... Oh, JP signed the card. Your signature's on here somewhere. By the way, if you signed the card, thank you very much. You helped make this a really fun experience. And Joefest is not exactly the same as JoeCon. Joefest, it's impossible to be exactly the same as JoeCon. They don't have any official Hasbro backing at all. It's also in the same location every year, whereas JoeCon would move around. And if you're wanting to, do a family vacation for JoeCon, it helps to go to vacation locations. But Joefest doesn't do that. What it does, though, is it is kind of a rallying point for the friends that you had from JoeCon. To see them again. Hello, Man of Action. How do you do? Man of Action says I hung out with Larry at that one. That one, hey, and I met you as well. Larry was there in Augusta in 2019 when I had that. Larry and Kirk Bazigian was there. It was the Rudats were there. Ron Rudat and his family, they were there, and that was a lot of fun. That was toward the end of the shows, me and some people are just hanging out at the bar, and Larry Hama just comes strolling by, says hello to us. That was really cool. I do miss that. I do miss that. And I would like to go this year. I have started a GoFundMe. A link for it is in the description of this video if you would like to contribute. Guess who never really wanted to do a GoFundMe for anything? This guy. But here we are. This is just the reality. I don't like to do things this way, but the reality is if I am going to go, this is the only way to go. I did adjust the amount, the target amount, because I had forgotten when I added the amount up that there were a couple expenses that I had figured out that I didn't necessarily need. So, but I had forgotten to change the amount that the target amount on the GoFundMe. So that has been updated, and I have some additional people to thank. I have received some contributors, but I hate doing things this way, and I don't really want to talk about it very much because that's just not the kind of thing that I typically do. But if I want to go, I have to talk about it, so I've talked about it, and if you're interested in doing it, I will be grateful, but nobody should feel obligated. Please don't feel obligated. And if we can make it, then hopefully I'll see you there. And if we can make it, I'll figure out something to do to kick off Cobra Convergence, because Cobra Convergence will be in July, and by the time we get to Joefest, we should have the lineup ready. We should be about ready to go. So yeah, I'll figure out something special to do. But I mean, the fact is, I miss you guys. And we have to take precautions, right? We have to take appropriate pandemic precautions. But taking those precautions, I would really like to see everyone. I would really like to get together. I really miss this. Rob Irizarry says, I miss JoeCon. Me too. JoeCon was like having a family. Oh, thank you, Beta Ray Bob. Joefest 2022. First G.I. Joe convention. Hope to see you there. I hope to see you there as well. If I make it, please come up and say hello. Yes, Toy Connections, Cobra Convergence is back. I'm working on it. We are in the early planning stages right now. So, yeah, that is going to happen in July. That is the proper month where it should happen. I know we did it in August last time, but there was a lot going on. It should happen in July. That's the correct month. It will happen in July. And if I can make it to Joefest, I'm going to do something to launch it, to get it going. But at any rate, yeah, the fact is I just miss people. And there was one thing about JoeCon that wasn't my favorite. It took me a little while to meet people. When the channel was going pretty well, people would start to recognize me, and they'd come up and say hello, and I met people that way. But before that, it was a little bit difficult to meet people. Oh, thank you, Chad. If you go to Joefest, will you have a booth? That's my goal. My goal is to have a table and to have my stuff there. As long as I still have tables available. If they don't, then I wouldn't be able to. But I'll figure something else out. I'll figure something else out if I'm not able to get a table. But that is my goal. That is my goal. It was a little bit difficult to meet people and make friends. Oh, thank you, James Thompson. Timmer is asking for suggestions for main character May in honor of Hoodie's return. Stalker, that's a good idea. Yes, let's spam Timmer. By the way, Timmer, it is Tuesday. That means there is a new episode of Half the Battle up. Make sure you check out Half the Battle on YouTube. There's What's on Joe Mind. Where the hell are the singing cats? I'll tell you where the singing cats are. The singing cats are in Augusta, Georgia. Hey, there's Joeberg here. Hello. We'd love to do another backyard battles for Cobra Convergence. Let's keep people playing with their toys. See, this is why this is fun. This is why I miss it. And this is why we have to do it again. Hello, Gaz. I don't think I said hello to you, Gaz. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, and I see that it's almost 8 o'clock. I would really like to stay on and just keep going, but first of all, as usual, my voice is starting to go out. Plus, I actually have some work to do. I got a lot of work done today. I actually got like an entire video done today. Done, edited, uploaded. It was a busy day, but I still have some additional work to do. So I'm not going to stay late. I do have to jump back on that. But I'll just end with this. If you are able to... Oh, thank you, Brad. Click this by accident, then type this out by accident as well. What are the chances? What a coinky-dink. That's amazing. You know what? Hooray for randomness. That's some kind of like quantum flux there. That's just the universe working things out. If you make it to Joefest, and if that's your first convention, or if you just don't know anyone, come and find me. And we will hang out. You know, we'll talk about G.I. Joe. Doesn't matter how many other people are there. We will hang out. We'll hang out together. If I'm hanging out with a group of people, join the group. I want to see you and I want to talk to you because I want everyone to have a good experience. One of my favorite things, there are a lot of favorite things, but one of my favorite things about the last JoeCon was meeting G.I. Joeberg, but also watching the guys from G.I. Joeberg have fun. Just vicariously watching them, meet, Larry Hama and meet all these fans, because they had a lot of fans there, and be surrounded by all of the stuff that they love, and get all these figures and vehicles, and it was fun watching them have fun. And I would like everyone to have a fun, enjoyable, and safe convention experience. So let's do our best to do that. We're gonna try. We're gonna do our best. And that's what I'll leave you with. If you go to JoeCon and you don't want to be alone, if you want to be alone, obviously you can be. But if you don't want to be alone, and if you want to meet people, and if you want to be part of the fan community, and you don't know anyone else to talk with, just come and talk to me. Find me. I look like this. In person, I also look like this. This is the face that you look for. Unfortunately, I don't have another one. But yeah, just come and talk to me, and we'll hang out. We'll talk about G.I. Joe. If we're in a group, then I'll make you part of the group, and we're gonna have fun. We are going to have a good time. Yeah, I think I will wrap it up. If there's anybody who snuck in that I didn't have a chance to say hello to, I'm sorry about that. But we will do this again next week. I will wrap it up for the evening, and I will say goodnight. Thank you for everyone for showing up. Usually by Tuesday evening, I'm kind of tired because I've been working a lot. But this always kind of refreshes me. And if my voice wouldn't go out, and if I didn't have more work to do, I'd just do this. I just do this until I dropped, because talking to you guys is about the best part of my week. So, if you reach out at the convention, maybe they'd give you a room and board in exchange for a panel. I don't know, maybe. I kind of wish I had had the idea earlier. I don't know how much availability they have, but they might have done that if I had reached out earlier, but I didn't have the idea earlier. So, but we're going to do the best we can. We're going to do the best we can. But I will say goodnight to everybody. Thank you to everyone who showed up. I love this. I actually feel, I feel more energetic now. This is how I get energy is by doing this. But I have to use that energy to take care of some work. So thanks everyone. Good night, and we will see you next week. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.